Hi, this is going to be an update to the PS4. Now, as you know, Tales of Arise will not load. A lot of games will not load and play on my girlfriend's PS4 after a Sony update. Now, I'm going to show you a couple things here. One, you definitely need to clean this. But I did get the disc in. The disc, of course, will not eject. It will not find the disc, which means the eject disc is not working. I'm going to show you how that you may be able to fix or play some of your games even if the disc is in here. This is a pretty quick fix for most people. Now, for cleaning this, you will need certain tools. Little star thing there with a hole in the middle, looks like. And you'll need a Phillips screwdriver. I hope I got the right size. Right here. You can get these little kits for next to nothing. You'll need something to pry your PlayStation 4 apart with. But before I do that, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eject this disc manually, and I'm going to show you how you can possibly get this to reset to where it'll read your games. Now, if you're going to try to go ahead and reset this, you need a disc. 100% you need a disc in here. Okay? Now, even if you have to just put a disc in and unplug your PlayStation 4, you need a disc. Alright. Now, I'm going to flip this over this way. Now, you can see now the Blu-ray drive is on this side. Now, there's a square here, circle here, square here, and a circle here. You need this circle. So, it is the circle just above your Blu-ray drive. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a screwdriver here and turn. Now, if your screwdriver's not working, which it really should, it's just hard to get up in there. But if it's not working, you can try your little bits here to find which one actually needs to fit in there. Now here, you see it's not coming out. That is tight. 1. Did you hear that click? 2. 3. 4. Now turn this to the right, click 4 clicks. Now start turning to the left. Did you hear it? It released. Now you see the disc coming out? Now I want you to see something. I'm not going to do this all the way out. Now I'm going to flip this over again. Grab it and pull. Alright. Let's hook this up. Before I hook this up and test this, let me see if I can remember how to get this off. It is hard to do all this with one hand. It really is. Let me get that one. Getting this off with one hand is a pain. Because I really want to show you how to clean this, but unfortunately I really need some help doing this because it's such a pain in the butt. You have to get this off. Right here, the lid. And I'm pretty sure I got it off from the side first. But it's such a pain in the butt to fit stuff up in there. There we go. I'm going to show you how to clean this. if I can get it off with one hand. And it's such a pain in the butt using that. So let's use this. It is such a pain getting this off with one hand. And it's right here is where it's not coming off. I apologize. I keep shaking. I'm trying to get everything to work here, and this is being a pain in the butt. There we go. All right. This is important. You have to clean this. All right, not just the air vents here on the sides. Now you're going to need specialty tools, most likely. Some of these little hex. I believe this is a number 8 5-star pattern. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. When you take these screws out, set them somewhere where you can keep an eye on them. Now, if you have a PlayStation like this, you can see I've already been in here. There are only a couple screws that you're going to need to take out. Right here, there should be little pins, kind of like mushroom heads, that are plastic. You have to cut those off to get underneath this. Make sure you keep your screws. See, this is the star. Exactly where they're supposed to go, because some of these are different sizes. See how short this one is? Compared to that one's pretty long, that one's pretty short. And you also have one here. You have to remove this. Make sure you keep these exactly where they go. It's a pretty long one. That will go here, that will go there. Now up here, we have these two to take out. I believe those are Phillips. And I'm going to show you one main place that you have to clean. Alright, right now, don't worry about any of this right here. You do not need to take this off. You just need to pry this off. Now remember, you will have like little mushroom heads here that are plastic, that are holding this down. And you have to cut those off to get this out. Just lift that up. Now there is going to be some type of sticky tape here. Here is one main thing you have to clean right here. This will get so stopped up. Now to clean this, I just took my vacuum cleaner and I stuck the hose end on it, the little flat hose end. I vacuumed up in there. I vacuumed here. I vacuumed this as much as possible, just vacuumed it out. Once you're done vacuuming, you put it back together. Now this is going to be a pain with one hand, most likely. And you have to make sure you get your screws to where they're supposed to go. It is not that difficult to clean this out. but you do have to do it. Now, if you have two hands, it's much better than one hand. This is the main one that goes here. Now, I suggest you use rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip, and actually right here and here, clean that out with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. Oh crud, I was going to show you how to clean the laser. I do apologize. Please give me a second. It's real easy to clean the laser if you do it this way, and I really apologize. I know I'm already at 11 minutes. I apologize for this. Once you have this off, come on. It's such a pain in the butt getting this out, because it has a little lip going down right here behind your DVD or Blu-ray ROM. Now, to clean this laser, it's real simple. Right in there is your laser. You can see it from here. Just take a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol, stick it right here through this gap, and clean it, the laser from here. Once you have this lid off, right here. Now, getting this back on can be a pain sometimes, because it does have a little lip that goes underneath here, behind your Blu-ray drive. There we go. Let's get this back together. Then we're going to take Tales of Arise and see if it will load. Now, I've already got it installed, but after the Sony firmware update, even if the game loads, sometimes it will absolutely freeze. And that's because of Sony. That has nothing to do with your DVD-ROM or Blu-ray. Let's see, that's not in the right spot. Come on. There we go. Oh, sorry about that. That goes up there. I grabbed the wrong one. This little skinny one goes here. Maybe. Nope. Did I lose that? Oh, there it is. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of what goes where on these. A lot of these are just completely different lengths. And if you're just setting them right next to you, it's pretty easy to misplace something. Oh, that is in the wrong spot. So, like I said, sometimes it's a real pain to do this. Getting these screws to fit in the right spot is just a pain in the butt sometimes. Come on. There we go. There we go. That long one goes in the front here. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm going through all this mess. Because even if your game loads, there are going to be times, especially after a bad Sony update, that your game will not eject. You have to know how to eject it if it doesn't work. Now, this goes here. Now, remember, I do clean underneath this right here and here with rubbing alcohol. Then we'll get this together, hook it up, and see if it goes ahead and plays properly. So even if your eject doesn't work, you can eject it manually. Like I said, I'm trying to do this with one hand. It is not easy. So manually, to eject this. Alright, your PlayStation 4 is facing you. Your PS4 is up facing you. Your USBs are on your right hand side. If you're facing it, Sony's on the left hand side. Take it, flip it over. Now, the circle hole here, the little circle, it's upside down. Little circle on the right hand side, you have to drill through that or punch through that, and there is a screw in there, a release screw that will release the disc, and you can screw it out. Remember, what I did was I screwed it the wrong direction until I heard a few clicks. Then I started back screwing it, and then the disc came out. Alright, let's get this hooked up. If I can find everything. Right there is the picture. Out to TV. Now I need the power, which is right here. Let's plug in our controller. Now let me make sure the TV is on. Oh, come on, TV. Grab the game disc. Let's start this. Now, this is the way I actually got the game to load. And it does have a little bit of dirt and smudges on it from me grabbing it. As you can see there, I really need to clean this. Now it's going to go through the system check before it starts. Now this can take a few minutes. Now I really don't want to turn this off and then restart it, the video, because then I have to splice it. But depending on how long this takes, I just might do that. It's at 27%, so it's good. To tear apart your PlayStation 4, you need certain tools. You need certain screwdrivers. Now, this is a screwdriver tool set. Of course, made in China. These are actually made for controllers, to work on controllers. And they have all the bits and screwdrivers you need for working on your PS4. It has the little thumb pry thing to pry off your top, bottom. It has, you know, stuff like this. Now this is basically made for working on controllers. Now the ones I was using, I believe it's either the 9 or the 8. I believe it was the 8, the T8 50mm. It could have been the 9. I apologize, I don't remember if it was the 8 or the 9. And the 2.0 by 50mm Phillips head. Now this is the star, and this is a star. Yeah. I already know this is going to happen. Now I'm going to restart. Now this does have quite a bit of dirt and dust on it. I really should clean this before I try to insert this. Insert the disc. And you can see dirt and stuff on it. Now usually I don't hit restart on her PS4. I usually just shut it down and start it manually. Because sometimes it will still not restart correctly. You can see it's restarting. I also figured out once you start doing this, even with the bad firmware update, or if your drive is out a little bit, out of whack, this can help some games load properly, and you can even play some games. Now you can see Tales of Arise is installed on here. Now, when you're putting your disc in, you of course can do the disc trick I showed you in an earlier video to try to help you with this. But I've also figured out on this PlayStation 4, especially hers, even now, with the bad firmware update, then it also depends on how you put the disc in, whether it will load and play. Right here, if you see this, eject the disc. As long as the disc was loaded, eject the disc. And here's a simple thing to try. Take the disc, turn it, and put it back in. Now, this disc really does need to be cleaned. And I probably should have cleaned the laser again, because it is real dusty and dirty in here. Yeah, I don't want to copy this crap. This may keep going until I actually download the online stuff for this game. Once again, it will not read. So I either need to clean the disc, or I need to do a quick thing on the disc. But let's try it at another spot before I do anything else. Right there, unrecognized disc. Great. Now let's eject this, remove disc. Now I'm not going to do anything else but turn the disc a little bit more. Now I do know the disc needs to be cleaned because it does have my fingerprints on it from when I pulled it out. I did not take anything out to clean the disc, but that's exactly how I got it to work earlier. Unrecognized disc. Keep turning the disc until you find exactly where you want. Now if you want to try the disc trick, you can try it, but Now you can see how weak that is on that side. And I don't think they actually got the disc center correctly on here. I mean, it does not look centered. Um, but you can see I actually got it to install because it's right there. And like I said, I may have to update the download content. Now, I don't know if this has a save on here. Once again, I have no clue. I do know the disc 100% needs to be cleaned, because you saw me grab it with my fingers and just pull it out. There are fingerprints on the disc. So it does need to be cleaned. Cleaning this disc would help a whole lot right now. See, right here. This is what pisses me off about Sony. The disc is not corrupt. The disc is literally brand new. And you can see if you try to close this, this has to do with Sony's crap. Now that ejected automatically. That's good. Now let's try the little disc trick here. And like I said, this disc right there has fingerprints, a couple fingerprints on it. But I did get it to load. I did get it to start and even play. And then when I shut it off, the firmware that Sony updated would not allow it to eject. Unrecognized. Keep doing it. Keep checking it. Because here's the thing. Take it out, flip it around, throw it back in. There's a certain spot I found on these discs. I don't care what disc it is. There are certain spots on this disc that it does not want to load correctly. And certain spots, if you find the right spot, is perfect. It will load, it will run, it will play. Right there, unrecognized. See, this is the problem with PlayStation. See, it wants to install that damn update file. That's what it is. I guarantee if I updated this crap, it would load perfectly. Because it loaded perfectly right after I installed it. But I don't want this online crap on here. I don't want to spend hours updating this. I'm going to have to clean this disc. I apologize. I will probably have to clean this disc. Like I said, there's a sweet spot on this disc. I really believe when they created these discs, they did not create them correctly. Because if you look at the disc itself, there's more of an open gap on one side than on the other side. And I will show you again. So do not waste your money on Tales of Arise for PS4. Right there. You can see how far over that is compared to this side. That is a bad burn of the disc. That is the game company that made this disc for the PlayStation 4. See how much white is there? There's more data literally on one side than the other, it looks like. I mean, do not buy Tales of Arise for PS4. The game company sucks. This is brand new. I mean, 100% brand new. My last Girlfriend's Tales of Arise had a small scratch in it, so I thought that may have been the problem. But it wasn't. When I looked at the disc, it was the exact same way as this one. It was made the same way. It literally had stuff on one side more than the other side. Now, this game disc has had a certain problem, even her last disc, with going past a certain point, even starting the game. Even 100% brand new, directly out of the package. So, I guarantee it is a glitch in Tales of Arise. I've also heard of a glitch in Tales of Arise for the PS4. I believe it's the way they burn these discs. But I have got it installed here, and it literally took a half hour to install. There we go. I had to literally turn that disc just right to get it to read the right data to start it. And I guarantee, yes, once I update it, if I do, it will play better. Yes. Now, I did start this game. I'm not sure if it auto-saved or not. Now you can see it's loading. So the game is starting, it is running. But for me to get this to work on her machine, literally at all, I actually had to eject the disc manually. Yeah. Tales of Arise. Now, I'm not sure how I got this to skip in the first place. I think it's that button. I do not play a lot of PS4, if any, actually. Now, this has a continue. So let's see what it does. Like I said, on Tales of Arise, there's a certain place you have to install it in your system. Especially if your system's not being... Look at that. Okay, I'm not familiar with these games. I do not play these games. So let's go ahead and go here. Let's eject this disc. Okay, that's how I got it to pick up her Tales of Arise and a lot of her other games that just would not load. There you go. Remember, if you do this, what it does is it resets basically your laser in your Blu-ray drive. It pushes it all the way back, literally all the way. And then when you're pulling it out, twisting it out, it's some gears in there. And when you grab it and jerk it out, it clicks a couple gears. And that basically sets it pretty close to where either one or two gears, small threads in there, it'll jump. And it will basically reset where this laser needs to be. And I will show you once again, Tales of Arise, do not spend your money. Look at the disc. You see all that extra white? This game is not centered. See all that white? This game is not centered properly. See that? That means this game literally has to be put in a certain way, this disc, for it to load properly. But if you're having an issue with your PS4, I apologize, it's a long video, and hopefully you can see everything. If you're having an issue with your PS4, whether it's not ejecting the game, or it's not reading properly, and it will possibly read some games, but not other games. If you're having an issue with some games shutting down, if they load at all, go ahead and give this a try to get that laser to reset at the right spot. Also, clean out your PS4. Clean it. Vacuum it out. That's what I did. I used my vacuum cleaner. Vacuum it out. Make sure that the heat vent in there is clean. Make sure there's nothing blocking the airflow. And make sure this is reset. You reset it, flipping it over, going through the little circle on the bottom. And I can shut this off. And then turning to the all the way to the right. Turn to the right until it tightens up. And then keep turning 3 or 4, maybe even 5 clicks where you hear those clicks. And then turn to the left to eject a disc. Make sure there's a disc in here. If it's an old crappy disc, even better, because you got to get fingerprints on it. Once you put that disc in here, just unplug it. Do not shut it down. You do not want that disc ejecting. Unplug it. Do what I did. You see Tales of Arise, when the disc is put in a certain way, it is loading and playing. So far, after I've done this, every one of her games on here have installed and played. Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Berseria, The Witcher 3, um, Dragon's Quest, Tales of Zestria. All these games are on here and they do play. When I put the disc in, the only one that really has a problem with the disc is Tales of Arise, because the way they burned the game. If you have Tales of Arise and it's not installing or not playing, go ahead and put it in, eject it, put it, turn the disc, put it in, eject it, turn the disc, put it in, eject it. If it's not reading at all, or it's just not installing, do what I did with, flipping it over, put the disc in, unplug it, flip it over, go to the bottom, and turn it. And what it's going to do is this gear in here is going to push that laser eye all the way to the back. And then when, click it a couple times, that'll set it. And then twist the other way and the disc will start coming out. Once it starts coming out, just grab that disc and just pull. And you'll probably hear a click, click. And that should be set. Hopefully this helps somebody out because, well, I understand. Now let's see if system software, really? I did not want to update this. But it did install. There's an update file there. And I wish Sony would start updating their damn shit. I mean, seriously. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. Hopefully this helps somebody out with the PS4. Once again, if the disc trick works for you on a lot of games or some games, but not on others, first look at the game and see how the game was burned on the disc. And this trick may help you to be able to play your games that are no longer being able to be played or have never been able to be played or just didn't install correctly or whatever. This trick using the Blu-ray drive may help you. I understand this is at 40 minutes. I really apologize. But I'm fixing to go. I'm burning up. It's hot in here. And I got to clean my girlfriend's computer. But PS4, when they're working, it's a good system. It's a great system. But when Sony screws up, and oh boy, do they ever screw up, they can damage your system. And the thing is, I didn't have to replace the Blu-ray drive. I really didn't. If I would have known this, I wouldn't have had to replace the Blu-ray drive, because the Blu-ray drive that I took out of here was not making noise. It was acting just like the brand new drive I put in here. But it stopped reading certain games after a Sony firmware update. So if I would have tried this before, that could have saved us a lot of money. I replaced the drive in here. I even replaced the hard drive in here. Reinstalled everything. And this, apparently, from the way this drive is acting just like the last one. See, rebuilding database, of course. But remember, certain games, before you throw them in and you're having issues with them, look at the back of the game, make sure it's burned correctly. If not, sometimes you can put that game disc in a certain way and it will load. Alright, I'm fixing to shut this down. Because I do not want to update anything. And there's a fly in here because I got the door open. But that is it. I apologize. I really should have taken a picture of that while it was running. That's my stupidity. Anyway, hope this helps somebody out. Everyone have a good day. Bye.